It's a good idea. I like it. What we might do is play the damn thing for the people out there that are listening right now. So just quickly, this is the first time it's been played on radio in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Away. Exciting stuff. This is brand new from Minnie Simmons. It's called Travelling Show on Hodaki. Give us a text on 3483 and let me know what you reckon.
Gina's in the bedroom, she's holding up the whole damn line. Susie's on the balcony, smoking away the time.
Well, I mean, Minnie Simmons makes me want to quit my day job.
Initially, it was the three-piece, me, Yanni and Zach, and the bond that we formed together travelling around for 6 months around the world, around Central America, surfing.
I was on a surf trip with two brothers, the singer and our bass player, Zach and Jesse Hawkins, in Mexico. Very unrelated to music, and just surfing, having a good time. When we were in Mexico, we started, or it wouldn't have been Mexico, it would have been Costa Rica or something. We started writing songs. We just went and bought notebooks from some store, and we didn't have any instruments. I remember we would take turns going to the car and like writing songs, just singing melodies and writing down lyrics. And it very slowly grew into the massive band we are today.
I got into Minnie Simmons through Zach. We were friends at university down in Otago. And then after the boys went away on the surf trip and came back, we all went out for dinner one night as a sort of rekindling of the friendships and such. And the boys said that they'd started a band while on the surf trip. And I was like, right, okay. That's some pretty impressive sort of stuff. So, you know, what's the band? What's going to happen? They're like, oh, well, you know, Jesse's playing bass, Yanni's playing drums, Zach's going to sing, but we need a guitarist. Do you know any guitarists? And I was like, well, yeah, me.
So a few weeks in to Minnie Simmons, after Brad had joined, he'd been playing with us for a few weeks, and he said, I can't commit. I don't want to say I can do all this stuff if I just can't make it. There's no way that this band could have started without Brad. Like, there's no way we could have got anywhere where we are now. And we all knew that. So we just said to him, yeah, that's like, we fully understand for sure, all good, but just play this one show with us.
Yeah, all right, I'll play one show.
All right, like, what are we going to do? And Zach is just like, oh, don't worry, like, when we play the show, like, we've got a week and a half to like reel them in, you know? And we went and played the show, and then we got off, and I just remember Brad saying, like, we got to do that again. And I was like, man, we got that fish like on the boat. We've gone back to land and we've chopped it up for sashimi or whatever, you know, like that's hook, line, and sinker right there. And it's been, I don't know, three plus years since then.
When we were naming the band, we were throwing around a whole lot of different ideas. But I thought it was really important to touch on this genesis of the band, which was Jesse, Yanni, and Zach on this surf trip.
We used to tell stories about meeting certain women on our trip that were like either named Minnie Simmons or like resembled the body shape of a Minnie Simmons surfboard or just things like this.
It's a surfboard. That's all there is to it.
We're lucky in this band that we have 4 or 5 now, like distinct songwriters essentially, and we all bring such different elements to it.
The keys add an epic dimension, moving, maybe progressing from purely guitar-based, riff-driven music into something more whole. Adds another dimension. Em's a music teacher as well, so she brings that musicality. Another vocals in there as well, get the 3-part harmonies going.
I was playing in another band called Debbie Fair. We were both on the bill for Nestfest in Hawke's Bay and got to meet all the boys then. That kind of led to discussions that we were both going to the same friend's wedding a month or so later, and ended up sort of playing the keys with them for the wedding, which was heaps of fun. And then it kind of went on from there.
Over time we've toyed with other band members, we've looked at maybe having another guitarist in there, but Em has just slotted in, like culture-wise, into the band just perfectly as another family member, I guess you'd say, just one of the crew.
Zach's new inspirations have got me thinking more on like a riff level. I guess usually I kind of jam chords, but yeah, the later songs I've kind of been thinking of cool little hooky, catchy riffs to add to some of the new ones, which have been a fun little project.
We would sit together before rehearsal and decide on a vibe, and I would have ideas of where it would go, but then Em would just totally write the part, and so there's her prints all over a bunch of our new songs, which is really cool.
That's the dream, to be musicians, to be on the road touring with your best mates and making music, playing to fans. The band so far hasn't paid the way, but if it did, I think that would take us to the next level, being able to spend that extra time honing the craft.
My favourite part about any of the music is writing the music. I really like playing live, but live can be really up and it can be really, like, you can have a bad performance. And then the recording of the music never quite sounds as good as you imagined it in your head. So I think that the writing process for me is definitely the highlight. We're at a stage right now that I am really happy doing exactly what we're doing, but if all I had to do when I woke up in the morning was write for Minnie Simmons, that would be my sunrise and my sunset.
I used to be heavily influenced by like Fat Freddy's Drop and heaps of indie music when I was younger, but the Mini Boys have definitely had a massive influence on me appreciating the classics like the Rolling Stones and Tom Petty and things like that.
Well, my mother was a music teacher, so I listened to a lot of music as a kid. From a very young age, I just wanted to be a rock star, while other kids wanted to be, I don't know, fucking firemen or astronauts or whatever.
People that inspire me are often fated people, I guess. The likes of Jim Morrison was a big inspiration for me when we were first starting out. Definitely less so now, although you wouldn't be able to tell it with what I'm wearing. The people that inspire me tend to be people with kind of dark sides. Things about night, things about death, things about things that you shouldn't do. Those all seem to be the things that make for the best songs. Best lyrics, anyway.
So I was fortunate enough to grow up in a very musical family. We'd have these sing-alongs down at the beach, doing classics, bloody Eagles, a lot of Eagles actually. Rod Stewart, Crowded House, Dave Dobbin, Kiwi classics, but also the classics as well. It definitely influenced who I am as a musician. I dabbled in indie rock, disco, that sort of other genres essentially, but I honestly just love playing rock and roll. That's kind of who I am, and that's what I get from this band.
One thing I think is great about our band is that I haven't encountered a single serious argument about anything. We're all great friends, all best of friends, and everyone seems on the same page and on the same vibe. So I think that's pretty cool. And it strangely seems weird or like rare for it to be like that.
Everyone's families come along to the gigs, and so it's like we're all a family, but then there's all the family at the gigs and things as well. So it's just like, I don't know, it's this super special connection that like we all just love hanging out with each other, and everyone's a lot of fun to be around.
We're lucky, again, that we all clicked and we have the same influences and similar family support that makes it all very organic and easy to do. We're lucky that we're all such good friends as well.
Yeah, they all kind of like sit really nicely behind me as a backing band. And these guys do a really good job, and I think it all comes together nicely and it just elevates me. Cut.